Did you see, I thought you were going here before. Did you see the comments Vince Russo had this past week about Paul Heyman?
Oh, God, no, I did not. This was completely unrelated. I didn't know. Now, what does he have to say about Paul?
Yeah, this is like a bunch of the websites use this as a clickbait headline. Naturally, it's a good fit. Vince Russo calls Paul Heyman's promos one-dimensional and overacted. The exact quote, "I don't like Paul Heyman. It's very hard for me to be objective when it comes to Paul. I think the dude has been cutting the same freaking exact promo for the last decade, man. It's so one-dimensional. It's always the same thing. I think he freaking overreacts. Or overacts, I guess it is. I'm not a big Paul Heyman fan like everyone else. I'm sorry. That's my opinion." Do you think Paul's promos are one-dimensional and he overacts?
No.
Do you think he needs more of the acting sensibilities of the Russo written attitude?
Hot lesbian action. Can we get another lesbian to jump on Paul? What the fuck is he? Again, this is why this insufferable nitwit will have you think that he's Martin Scorsese and he's here and he's allowed to have an opinion on Alfred Hitchcock. But one may be apropos comparison, but not the other. This is why you want to choke this fucking guy, because if anything, his shit that he's admitted to doing, I'm talking about Vince Russo, one-dimensional, Jerry Springer, Trailer Park Trash, Crash TV, entertainment for the fucking lowest common denominator. Paul is as we've talked about, he and I, once again, star-crossed lovers, two ships that wrecked in the night, whatever the fuck. We've had our differences, but he's a fucking verbal genius, especially compared to the field these days. And his booking, along with liberal doses of falsehoods and fucking false hope that he gave people, who got the most out of the least. And he knows what he's doing in the wrestling business with telling the fucking story and blah, blah, blah. All the accolades that we heap on Heyman all the time. Even if I did have some personal goddamn I'm still mad at him over shit. I can't not say that because it's true. But for this simpleton, it's like the fucking guy who plays Ronald McDonald at the fucking local McDonald's trying to critique Emmett Kelly. You're talking about, I don't believe him. Fuck you. It's just, well, the kids have to Google Emmett Kelly.
Yeah, probably. There may be some Googling in the previous segment or two. But this has been Jim's comments to his critics, I guess we'll say, here on the show. And of course, Jim, although everyone's a critic nowadays, another thing everyone is hungry. And of course, everybody needs a good meal. Everyone needs a meal that will satisfy you, maybe a meal that is chef crafted. We could all use a chef. Vince McMahon is a chef.
Did Vince McMahon use his chef?
I don't know what his chef is up to.
Did he use his chef too?
Well, let's talk about what the listeners can use, and that is a meal from Factor.
Well, if you want to use a chef, folks, I'll tell you what, Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. Eating good for you, easy for you. You see how that goes hand in hand, fist and glove. Like a rose in a fisted glove, the Factor meal will fly from above. It'll be delivered right to your door. They are dietitian approved. That means one of those ladies in the white coat that used to be around the school when you were in elementary school has looked at this and said, you know what? You ought to be eating shit like this.
Well, no, it could be anyone. Dietitians, of course, could be any gender. And
no, I only approve of old women in white coats being dietitians because then, well, older women well past the age of attractiveness.
I want a woman who's just come out of school who knows all the latest stuff. Why would you want
they don't let them in schools anymore. There's too much going on. But folks, the Factor dietitians are almost retirement age.
No,
and these
we don't know who their dietitians are.
I've checked them out.
No, you have not. No, you have not. How would you have done that?
I demanded, before I agreed to advertise this product, I demanded some type of background checks, and they sent me a list of who's involved. I can vouch for all of them.
Again,
And they're all elderly ladies, with some of them with gray hair in hairnets. They're all wearing hairnets.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, ignore the man over there and let's focus on the meal over
who's
here.
over there interrupting me? I'm talking about these Factor meals are ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. Boom. So you can fuel right and feel great, no matter what life throws at you. Let's say you were just going to cook and suddenly your electricity goes off and all your shit was ruined, and you sit in the dark for a couple hours and then it comes back on and you think, well, hell, I don't want to go through all that again. So you pop the Factor meal right in the microwave and boom, in 2 minutes.
That's right.
It's easy.
Heat and eat. That was also going to be Abdullah the Butcher's biography, I believe.
And let's say that you were going to cook some other kind of meal, something that wouldn't be dietitian approved, and a gourmet meal that making eating well easy, some kind of thing loaded in fat and salt and sugar, and you ate that and suddenly you burped up some kind of internal organ into your throat. You spit it out. It looked like someone had ripped your heart out. You have blood pumping from your mouth. And you fucking bleed out right there on the floor, all because you ate some kind of goddamn shit you shouldn't eat. Well, see how you can avoid that, and then you also, who's going to clean up that mess in the kitchen? Think about it. Not only all the pots and pans from where you went to all the trouble of cooking after your busy, hurry, scurry life, but now you've got internal organs and blood.
Who will clean this up?
All over. Who's going to clean it up? Do you want that left on your conscience, ladies and gentlemen?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's focus on the other side of things. Let's look on the lighter side of things.
Yes.
You have a busy day, a hurry-scurry life, as Jim correctly pointed out.
Speaking of lighter, you can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor keto meals. Because based on a randomized, controlled clinical trial, it was completely random. Chaos reigned, but they were in total control at the same time. And those clinicians in that courtroom or trial said that Factor Keto could help you lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks, depending on diet and exercise. Now, the group that was forced to go out in the hot sun in the middle of the Phoenix summer and do road work while shirtless wearing leg chains, they lost up to 12 pounds. So you can join that program also, but you have to call the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department.
That's right. Nothing to do with Factor. Let's just stress that.
Well, no, Factor, they work hand in hand. Factor, they feed the Sheriff's Department.
Again, lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor's keto meals. And of course, they have Protein Plus and Calorie Smart. Lots of options. And as I was saying before, a hurry-scurry life, maybe you come home and you want a really good meal, and you don't have the time to cook it for yourself. This is the best way, like you said, heat and eat.
Boom.
Delicious, I think, with Factor.
Just that quick, and they got breakfast, too, and they've got grab-and-go snacks. Apparently, what happens is they just have a truck that drives by your house, and a guy sticks some snacks out in his hand, and as he goes by, you grab them. But you can sign up for that service, too. They've got wholesome smoothies. They can help you feel your best all day long. And then at nighttime, you're asleep. You don't have to worry about it. You won't know what's going on. But you can reach all your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that cannot be beat by eating smart with Factor. And right now, folks, listen to this discount. If you go to factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use the code factorpodcast, you're going to get 50% off of your first box and free shipping. And obviously you're going to say, well, it would have to be a hefty discount for me to type all those things in, but it's worth it because you're getting it for half price and no shipping charge. Factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use the code factorpodcast. 50% off and free shipping. Do the kids know how to spell factor, Brian? Factor. Factormeals.com/factorpodcast. Code factorpodcast. Good Lord.
That's right. And let us know what you get. If you get Protein Plus, you're on my team, and we're going to crush the Cornettes.
Well, you get the Keto Smart, and that makes you smart.
Well, we will see what
that the
happens.
keto smart has been proven in completely random, non-official
Oh,
trials
stop it with this.
that makes you smarter. That's why I'm ahead of the game.
All right, well, we were on the way out, and we are going there, and we're going to have a great meal along the way with Factor. Once again, factormeals.com/factorpodcast.